And a bit of a heater on Twitter over this past weekend. Hope you guys are all doing well. As per usual, welcome back to more esports talk, and a talking point sparked by Jake Paul. Yeah, surprise, surprise, responded to by some top figures in the esports and gaming scene. I will say this, there is certainly probably a little bit of underlying truth in Jake Paul's tweet, and even that being me, not being a huge fan of the guy as well, it did spark responses from both FaZe Banks and HECZ, and a lot of gaming figures out there as to what he did say was him creating the first content house. I think he was actually pertaining to entertainers and influencers, which I guess still stems in along the lines of FaZe Clan and Optic Gaming, but it definitely sparked a lot of responses out there as being a bit controversial. As he said, I create the first content house, then there's 500 content houses. I start boxing, now every influencer is a boxer. What's next? Y'all gonna get raided by the FBI on purpose? Which FaZe Banks then promptly replies and actually ratios Jake Paul on this tweet by just about over 2 times, saying 8 years ago, before half these fools were even born, showing the FaZe Clan New York house, notoriously known. Even a guy like HECZ then responding to FaZe Banks with a simple GIF, and I'm sure you guys know why he might be responding as well, given the former Optic houses. So me being me, of course, I want to use this point to try and make a discussion to all of you guys and really get a general gist of this. If you guys can do me one favor, I did this on the stream sniping XQC video as well, where I asked you guys to comment what you think about everything in the entire situation. Give me a reason as to why, and that was one of our highest, most commented on videos in a long time. So I asked you guys the simple question, and this is this: you know, what was the best content house or team house in esports and gaming of all time? I think we're going to see a lot of responses aligning with FaZe Banks, and of course I believe the FaZe New York house, stemming back to what he said, was 2012. Then we have the original Optic house, I want to say 2014ish, and of course several iterations and several houses underneath the Optic Gaming brand until it went away, and now of course is back, and some big news out there. And to give you guys my answer, because it's not fair, you know, if I'm going to ask for your response, I better give mine. But it's certainly, it can be touchy, all right? We're all friends here, okay? I don't care what your answer is, because there are probably a lot of different answers for a lot of different fans out there. Let's get it straight. When it comes time for me personally, and I'm being biased, what influenced me the most, what turned me on, what turned me to an esports organization the most was the 60/50 house for Optic Gaming. I will say, if you guys are to force me, all right, if you guys are gonna, you know, threaten to fight me on LAN unless I answer this question, I would tell you that I would say FaZe Clan's New York original house brings back a lot of great vibes from those OG guys. And of course, Optic's houses, I think, they have to be your top 2, at least on my personal list, 60/50, as well as the FaZe New York house. And I'll be quite honest, I think in recent years, by a long shot, it was actually the TSM trio who did it best with their technical Fortnite house, that being Myth, Hamlins, and Daquan. I believe 2018 and into 2019 as well. I think they personally really killed the game and had almost a movement there for a short period of time, until that trio unfortunately did kind of break apart, as 2 of them, Daquan and Hams, took an extended period break. But still, I would have to put them up there. I can't put them on the all-time list because it's still too recent, but I think they did a great job as well. There are tons of great content and team houses, but for me personally, the one that influenced me the most was actually 60/50, because of the sheer amount of content they pumped out. And so that's why I think a lot of people out there will probably also answer FaZe Clan New York. And then I also had a tweet about this as well, which I love seeing your responses on. There are plenty of fans out there, even some saying, you know, Envy, who had a house, I believe, a decade ago. 100T is doing a great iteration of this. Shouts to my boy as well. I've seen some very interesting responses, because you bring in, if you're actually strictly talking about content, not only for esports and gaming, you think about offline TV, doing great things as well. So there are certainly a lot of great iterations. I think G2 has a Rocket League house in New York as well, and they've seen some great success. When it comes to the most prominent ones, for me, it has to be Optic and FaZe Clan. If you guys have a different answer, I would love to know why. It's just funny to see a guy like FaZe Banks responding to Jake Paul, HECZ getting involved as well. I never really thought I'd be able to talk about these talking points on the show, but it definitely sparks a great debate out there of what esports team and what content house in esports and gaming has done the best ever of all time. It's a difficult one to nail down, because I know a lot of you guys are FaZe fans, a lot of you are Optic fans, and fans of a lot of different teams out there. So what do you guys think? Until next time, as per usual, you guys know what to do, all right? Take a sip for me. I'll see you back here sometime soon. Until then, take care.